So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I've been asked to disturb your lunch today and at the same time ask you to continue eating. I suppose this is when you will have something in your plate, but I'm being told that it is important that you continue eating while we are having this discussion today. Today we're going to talk about auditing. Well, in my view, the critical challenge that we have today is not putting markets and market participants into a straitjacket. I think it is to create prosperity and sustainability. Let's remember that we're on the verge of collapsing under recession, carbon, overpollution, debt, and social unrest. So I think the real question we should be asking ourselves today is how the audit and the accountancy profession can contribute to this overarching agenda, restoring trust and creating prosperity and sustainability. Now, probably a good way of approaching this question would be to start from the needs of society and give the floor first to investors and business, as I believe both auditors and policymakers should be attentive and responsive to their needs. Well, however, we're in Brussels, so we're going to put things upside down and start discussing the policy proposals, and only then we shall listen to our users. We have actually an excellent panel today to do this. Each of our panelists will have 10 minutes. I'm being told that I need to insist on the 10 minutes to make short introductory remarks. And as you know, the most difficult task for a moderator, especially a moderator who doesn't make the difference between good morning and good afternoon, is to moderate and watch the timing. So I'm wondering whether today I could actually delegate this difficult task to the audience, to you, ladies and gentlemen, and ask you after 11 minutes to start shouting and clapping your hands so that the timing is really monitored. The other housekeeping announcement that I have to make is in relation to the microphone, this thing I'm actually shouting into. If our speakers want to be heard even before their 10 minutes has elapsed, they will have to use the microphone. This is also to say, actually, that everything we're saying, except my stupid jokes, is being taped and will be webcasted. I understand that the web will not be the only media we will be using today, as there are also journalists in the room. So to have this discussion on auditing with us today, we will have, as I said, a distinguished panel comprising two prominent members of the European Parliament, two representatives of our users, I would say, and of the European Commission. So I will, in turn, welcome Mr. Sébastien Baudou, who is the Shadow Rapporteur for the EPP in the European Parliament on the package of proposals put forward by the European Commission. Then we will give the floor to Mr. Arvin Wadera, who is the head of unit of the audit unit in the European Commission, who has actually been very closely involved with the proposals we're discussing today. Following on, we will have Susanna Hahn, who is representing here European issuers. And then I'm being told that Mrs. Pervenche Beres, the chair of the Social Affairs Committee in the Parliament, will join us and will be just in time to make her introductory remarks. Before, last but not least, we give the floor to Hans Bergen, who is head of division of the Swedish Shareholders Association. However, before we kick off the discussions, let me thank QED and CCAB Belgium for having the idea of this debate. I think debate is exactly what we need. And for FEE, the Federation of European Accountants, the organization I represent, I think it is a very good place to be moderating and stimulating this debate. And probably I should explain why. FEE, ladies and gentlemen, is the voice of the accountancy profession in Europe. We federate 45 professional institutes across 33 European countries. And what makes us different, I would say, is that we represent the whole spectrum of activities of the accountancy profession, from public practice, of course, both large, mid-sized and smaller firms, including as well sole practitioners, to accountants working in businesses and also accountants working in the public sector. Therefore, the viewpoint that we take on the matters we will discuss today is that of the long-term collective interest of the entire profession, whatever the size of firms, areas of practice, or member state. And also, a very important element in our work, taking into account the European public interest. So from this perspective, ladies and gentlemen, FEE has welcomed the debate launched by Commissioner Barnier. It's true that auditors need to reflect on their societal role and their added value. As the needs of society, markets and stakeholders evolve, it is necessary for auditors to change too. So, unfortunately, maybe, this debate that we're having in Brussels is right now very much polarized, I would say, and focused on the most controversial proposals. But from FE's viewpoint, I think this should not shadow the fact that there are also a number of proposals that bring welcomed improvements. Just to quote, for instance, the adoption of ISAs, the International Standards on Auditing for all statutory audits in Europe. We believe this is an important improvement. Measures that actually contribute to the development of the role of audit committees, the ban of contractual clauses, limiting the choice of auditors. These are good things, as well as the improvement of coordination of audit oversight on a European level. We would say that the promotion of a single market for audit services, no matter how difficult this may be in light of the remaining divergences in member state legislation, is also something we should welcome and continue improving. However, as we will be discussing today, there are also proposals that are not so welcomed and that are clearly excessive and potentially harmful to audit quality and to the sustainability of the profession. For instance, proposals that curtail the profession's ability to add value to the economy and stakeholders, I mean restrictions on services. Proposals that may disrupt market, like the breakup of firms into audit-only firms or rotation every 6 years, and proposals that prevent professional institutes from playing their role in support of a high-quality profession. I think these proposals that limit the role of our professional institute to the registration of auditors will particularly harm the smaller firms and the fundamental nature of audit, which is a profession, not an industry.